Hey everybody, I'm Josh.
And I'm T.
And today on Rubi the Rubicon, we're going to talk about all the things that we have fitted to Rubi. Please like, subscribe and share this video. Hey everyone, Josh here with Rubi the Rubicon. My wife T is behind the camera at the moment, but you'll see T a little bit later. Today we're going to talk about what options are fitted to Rubi. Now Rubi is a 2022 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon. Rubi has the Lifestyle Adventure Group, the Rubicon Premium Group and the Trail Ready packages fitted from factory. We got Rubi as an ex-demo because it was the only Jeep Gladiator that they had in stock at the time with the steel bumper. That comes to one of the first areas where we've fitted some accessories. Going over the front of Rubi, obviously this is not standard. We have a pair of Firelight 5000, so these are the Firelight Nemesis lights. These are 150 watts each halogen, and these things are absolutely excellent. I personally prefer these over LEDs. They do use a fair bit of power. These are the second vehicle that I've had these on, so they are an investment and they are fully serviceable and maintainable. So if you're interested in lights, go check those out. Moving on from the lights, we have a cheap eBay 50mm bar hoop across the top here. This hoop just bolts onto the existing points that are provided in the bumper. So you just take two bolts out, you put the hoop on, and then you whiz the bolts up. And I think it suits the bumper pretty well. On the front of the bumper, we have two antennas. So we have a 5G antenna for the mobile phone booster that's fitted inside the vehicle, and I'll show you where that is when we get in there. And I have a UHF antenna. Now, the UHF antenna, I've learned the hard way. This spring down here is not big enough. This thing leans back in the wind. As soon as you get to 100 k's an hour, 110 k's an hour, if you're driving into a headwind, if you come up against a truck, this thing ends up back here. This is a quality RFI antenna. I've had this again. This is the second vehicle I've had this on. This is a really quality unit. I'm going to replace this crappy UHF antenna with the UHF equivalent of this, which is actually a matched antenna, so it's roughly the same length. People have mentioned the proximity of the two antennas to each other. It's not a problem because they operate on different bands. I have one more antenna on a little mount around the side here. This is for ham radio. So I'm a ham radio operator and I do have a ham radio in the vehicle. This is just on a little bracket that I got off Amazon. All right, before we get any further down, Rubi, let's pop the bonnet and I'll show you what I've done under the bonnet. All right, now that we've got the bonnet open, not a whole lot has changed under here in the bonnet. I have fitted the ARB under bonnet compressor on the TLR bracket that's designed for the Australian model. The single cylinder compressor fits just nicely under here, tucks in, and it's all neat and accessible. I did have to strip out the loom that came with the ARB compressor. Over the other side, I've got a few extra bits and pieces on the battery here. We've got power for the brake controller. We've got power that runs inside to run my radios, power down to the trailer plug so that I can have my DC-DC charger running when we're towing, and a few other bits and pieces. All my antenna cables and everything actually go in up underneath the corner of the windscreen. There's a nice little spot that you can get in there just to save going through the main duct down the bottom. So that's about it for under the bonnet. We'll get inside Rubi and talk about what we've done on the inside. All right, moving around to the inside, and T is going to talk about what's going on in here.
Okay, so first thing you'll notice is the seats are tanned. They're not the black leather. We were very lucky to have a Rubicon that had this special little feature in it. Also, you'll notice that the dash is silver and not red. A lot of the newer models now have the bright red dash, and usually they're the black or I think even maybe red seats. But I think we were very lucky to get this combination. The tan seats are a lot easier to keep clean. You don't notice as much stuff on them, especially when you have kids and dogs, which will show you the back seat with a couple of little extra features for that purpose. When you have kids and dogs, you know how much things can get scratched and dirtied and literally destroyed. So we're going to prevent that.
All right, we'll move around to the back and we'll show you what's going on in the back.
So first off, obviously we have our little dog leads, so they don't jump in the front, and our little grate. Not that it does a lot. If you've got two springy little dogs like we do, they will eventually work out that you can jump over it. But in the meantime, they're pretty good. On the back of the seats, they've got these really heavy plastic guards, which is fantastic for kids who like to kick the back of the seat. And also, you know, little, as you can see, got a bit of crap in there already. You know, gotta love kids. Okay. Then we've gone to the seat cover here. Purchased this off Temu, a couple bucks. The best feature about this is it actually can unzip either side when it wants to. Make a liar out of me. As you can see, yeah, so you still have access to the center console bit there. And then when the kids, let's say if we've got the dogs, obviously we can chuck that back up, zip him back up, and then the seats are protected. Then got a couple of good old headrests there, nice memory foam from Temu as well. Don't spend a lot of money where you can, because, you know, kids, dogs and cars, as you can see, they get pretty filthy. And these also do come out, these are washable. So I would highly suggest you, if you have kids and dogs, to get one of these, because they're great. Obviously I picked this one because it was as close to a tan color as possible. Obviously, yeah, these sort of things don't always color match what you think they do. But this is what they do look like, a nice seat underneath it as well. This would be the first time we've seen it properly, because we've had this mat on it for a very long time.
This was actually the first mod that we fitted to Ruby. We got Ruby home and this was sitting on the bench, and T said, let's put this straight in, otherwise the back seat's going to get wrecked. So
oh yes, it would.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a feature that the kids like too is obviously the removable roof, which Josh will explain later on as well.
So just to continue, I'll pass the camera across to T, and T can film me, and we'll start talking about some of the tech that I've put in here. Just to add, we've also got a set of hard plastic floor covers in here. These things are excellent. They protect the floor. The kids can drop whatever they want in here, and it's not a problem. We just vacuum them out. They are dirty, but you know what? It's a Jeep. We take it places it gets dirty.
As we mentioned before, the roof does come off. Josh is going to demonstrate that now. A couple of little clips hidden underneath the sun visors, hidden everywhere pretty much.
In order to show you the tech properly, I've got to take the roof off. And that wasn't very clever. I've got to take the roof off so that I can show you where everything's fitted. Please, if you're enjoying this content, do like, subscribe and share with your friends. We're looking to get all the support for the channel that we can. We're always trying to increase our subscribers. We just recently passed 100. Get to 200 would be really awesome. If you could please smash that like button, hit subscribe, share with your friends. That would be awesome. Cheers. Back to the video. All right, so why did I take the roof off? This is why I took the roof off. This is my comms installation. Now, there's a few bits and pieces here. The first thing is this tray. Now, you can get these trays off Amazon. There are heaps of them. Some of them have 3 legs across the front. Some of them, the molly paneling goes a bit further forward, goes a bit further back. The slots in the center are different, but fundamentally they're all the same. This was the cheapest one that I could get here in Australia, and it does the job just fine. I wanted to put this in so that I had a place to mount my radios. Now, the Gladiator's not really got a lot of interior space to mount accessories in, radios, comms, 4G repeaters, etc. So this was my solution to the problem. It does mean that some of the radio cords dangle down, but that's it. So up here, fundamentally, we have a Cell-Fi 4G repeater. There's a lot of people that love to hate on these things. They do work. They won't give you reception in a place where you don't have reception. They will help boost your reception if you've only got 1 bar or slightly less to be able to get a call out. And T and I can testify to the fact that these do work. I have gotten phone calls out through the Cell-Fi repeater when my phone wouldn't have been able to otherwise when we've been in the bush and we've had a sick kid, for example. The next radio I have is this one. This is my UHF, fairly simple 80 channel UHF CB. This is actually a commercial set that's been reprogrammed for UHF CB. It is certified, it is legal to do that, so that's what we've done there. It was just a spare radio I had floating around. And this is my ham radio, 2 meters and 70 centimeters. Everything tucks up nice and neatly up here. It doesn't get in the way of feet or legs. It's not a problem for the kids. It's not getting smashed around in footwells, etc. I really like this as a really tidy solution. Keeps everything up here and out of the way. All of the cables route in nice and neatly around the windscreen. All right, now down and inside, fairly standard in here. Obviously in the footwell, there's the floor mats. Again, they come as a set of 4. These are PhD floor mats. These came off eBay. They weren't that expensive. The control head for my UHF CB is mounted up just here above the mirror and the cable dangles down. I don't find this is a problem, but this is a bit of a personal choice thing. Some people don't mind having cables in their view. Some people hate them. Up here, the last thing that we've got is our dash cam. Highly recommend, if you're going to make an investment in a vehicle like this, getting a dash cam. Just protects you. If something goes wrong, then your insurance has a record of what happened. I'm assuming it's going to be somebody else's fault. That way, you know, there's no argument about who caused the accident if there is an accident. I don't really want to go smashing my Gladiator, but I do want to make sure that I'm protected if somebody else does.
But it also catches some really cool footage when you're going through rivers and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's also a great way, if we do carry GoPros with us when we go out, and we do try and document some of our trips, but it's also a great way to document those impromptu trips when you're not going out and filming and you're just going out for a day with the family and you decide, hey, we're going to do something fun. You can just pull a footage off the dash cam. These are not expensive, cheap insurance policy for the vehicle. Now, being that this has the Lifestyle Adventure Group options fitted, it does come with the factory auxiliary switches. My only complaint about these is that I wish there were more. I currently have these wired up. One controls whether or not my spotlights come on or not. My spotlights are wired to come on and off with the high beams. So one of them controls whether or not they come on or not. The second one runs the compressor under the bonnet. The third one currently is spare. When I fit a winch, that's going to run the relay for the contactor for the main winch. And the fourth one turns the power on or off to the trailer plug in the rear. Now, we're pretty well done with the interior. I'm going to take you around the back. We'll have a look at what's fitted to the back and talk about what we've done down there. So down the back here, we've got the canopy fitted. This is not a smart cap. This is an Aussie 4x4 Accessories Australia aluminium Amazon canopy. I wish I had more nice things to say about this thing. It's a budget canopy. You need to expect budget results. Is it value for money? Yes, but you do have to spend a bit more work on fitting one of these. I had to get some custom brackets made as I wasn't really happy with the hardware that came with it to fit it, but it is a good thing if you have the time and effort and skills to put in to fitting it. Up on top of the canopy, we have a 270 watt house panel. I do have a dual battery system fitted to this in the back, and I'll show you a little bit more about that. Then as we come around the side, we have an awning. Now this awning's a little bit different. This is a Chaos Bub Nomad awning, and this awning is only 6 foot long. Now, there aren't very many short awnings. Most of them are sort of 7 foot, 8 foot long. I'm trying to keep the height of the Gladiator in check as much as possible. The solar panel tucks up under the rails on the side of the canopy and doesn't increase the height. This is the same. I've mounted this as low as I possibly can so that I'm not increasing the height of the Gladiator by too much, because I would still like to be able to get in car parks when we go shopping. After all, first and foremost, this is a family vehicle. Now, inside the back, the canopy just pops with a couple of latches, and it is quite a snug fit, so it does sit nice and tight. Inside the back, I've started insulating the canopy. This is not finished yet. As I finish it, I will do an install video of the insulation in the canopy. We have a Brass Monkey 95 litre fridge. Again, it is a budget fridge. It does keep things cold, but buy budget stuff, expect budget results. It's not the greatest fridge that's out there. It's not the most efficient. On the left-hand side here in the back, we've got the dual battery system. Now there's the way I've got this patched up, I've tried to maximize my flexibility, but there's a DC-DC charger, there's a solar charger from the roof, there's a 75 or 72 amp hour lithium battery in here, which runs the fridge, which is more than enough for what I need it to do. And obviously I've got some battery monitoring stuff in here as well. Nice, neatly tucked out of the way. I chose that battery because it was physically a good fit for the location that I wanted to put it in. We keep a few little bits and pieces in here. My towing mirrors are in a bag. In here, the bag for the freedom panels. When we take them off, we put them in the bag and we throw them in the back here. Shovel, straps, bits and pieces. Now, down the bottom here, we have the trailer plug. Again, I've gone a little bit different with this. I've gone with a 9-pin trailer plug. Those two contacts are rated to 50 amps for the DC-DC to our van. However, we're only running a 30 amp DC-DC, so we're well within our margin there. The power line that runs this also runs the DC-DC in the back that charges the battery when we're driving. So it's a 10 amp DC-DC in the back, 30 amp DC-DC in the van, 40 amps total. We're still well within a reasonable margin. We do have a MOPAR brake controller fitted. I'll get a quick shot of that, how that sits inside. It is a bit of a bear to wire that up in the Australian model. It's not plug and play like it is in the US model, but it can be fitted. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed our little tour of Ruby, and if you do have any questions, please drop them in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the videos that we have. If you're interested in this content, go check out the rest of the content on the channel. It would be great to see you on the next one. This has been Josh
And T.
with Ruby the Rubicon. Thanks for watching. Cheers.
I've got a question for you.
Hmm?
When are you going to finish this?
Oh yeah, we can't rush these things.
Ah, I've got a wet boob.
That'll be a cool blooper.
You would. You would. Yeah. I'm going to stand here because I like it up here better instead.
Okay. Oh, that Jew's not real fun, is it? It is recording, you know.
I know. I know.